You might need to rejig the signal.
Yeah, I'll try that. Getting up those rules for everyone. Not too many newbies in this one.
Oh god, I really hope I'm not up against I Kill You and J Frost. They seem to have my number in these games.
Yeah, there's definitely some powerhouses that are relatively scary to go up against.
Alright, before I ready up, I'm actually going to see if the YouTube's working now. I hope it is. Yes, we're live.
Should be able to confirm that.
Very good, very good.
Alright, switching to the game rather than the menu.
Yep, I have done this as well, and I did it without prompting, which is an improvement. Since all the settings are looking good, I'm just going to quickly jump back into lobby. I'm going to go to Claymore September 25, and I'm going to overwrite it. So now I have a copy of this, and it should do all the things for me in the future.
Looks like we don't want to be up against Mazza. Apparently they know the meta.
Oh no.
And Paulmont.
Look, I'm going to be honest, the people that get here early, I think they might all know the meta.
Yeah, there's not many.
Been 2 wins, I think, the last 2 weeks for the Kings.
They've been hard fought, though.
Yeah. 3.
It's been. They're not stomping wins. It's. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Oh, thankfully that
Tom, you
side
nearly
is
fell
still
last
alive.
week. And I ended up with 4 lane with 2 triangle pressure. That was pretty rough.
The worst part is I thought I was relatively good because I had 3 or 4 beamers up on that side with units, and they still rolled through it.
It's a tough time. It is a tough time.
Things about to kick off now. We will get to Hot Stepper, like in that announcement on the official, at some point tonight. Ideally, we're going to have, I think it was 11 Kings versus 50 to 60 peasants in that one.
It'll probably be about our 3rd game, just based on when people sort of join in and we have the bigger lobbies. I think
do
it's
bear in
probably
mind that it is a little on the experimental side. We've run some small tests ourselves, but as with most things that require a large number of people, the first time we put a large number of people in there, things may change, but we will make adjustments on the fly as needed.
By bear in mind, you definitely mean rely on that it's going to completely be a walk in one direction. We don't know which direction that is, but it will be.
Based on the testing we did, it was way more even than we were expecting.
Look, just remember, we used to be able to do Throne with 3 players at the top of the map.
Yeah.
So if we can do that, then I reckon. And if things have changed to the point where 7 is still rough if they even have a chance of winning, it's pretty different these days.
Has anyone built a radar yet? I just want to avoid red, yellow, orange.
I have units in my base.
Of course, you do.
I
just throw a pause down if that happens, Tom. You know this.
I'll do it for you. All right. So that is artificial banana. Ready to go again, people?
Yep.
Battle started.
Thank
There we
you,
go.
Artificial Banana. Obviously, not knowing the rules there, that's totally fine. Don't
It
ever
does
And
do
happen.
it
thanks for
again.
actually taking them straight out. And I saw that they were control deed, which is nice to see.
Respect. Oh, out on energy again. What am I doing?
What are you doing?
Betting too many construction turrets. That's what I'm doing.
An allied commander self-destructed.
We have nothing.
Enemy commander destroyed.
You guys.
I always do this. I always am like, where do I need to put my build turrets? And I put them in the wrong place. I should know this by now.
I did not give myself long enough before pulling the trigger on the T2.
Yeah.
Very much. So, yeah. We didn't need all these constructors anyway.
I don't know what I am doing. 4 minutes 11. Let's look around the map instead of showing you what not to do. Something's looking better than me. Prey's looking very good.
I'm
Potatoes
about,
are
I'm
right.
about normal.
And
He's
Kakato's
in a
doing
better
well.
spot than I
Wow,
am.
Kakato's already reclaimed their T2 lab. I haven't even started
What?
building mine.
How? Jesus. All that delicious overflow. One day it's gonna be a problem. One of the things I find interesting about this map is you're better off building your T2 facing into the base.
Mm. Oh, when dying, it's not great.
I was wondering what happened there. Wow, I'm struggling.
Oh, come on. Ugh, com priority. So for anyone wondering what just happened, my com takes priority for metal eating. For metal. And so it prevented me from finishing that one, which is not ideal. It's only a few seconds, but every second does count.
I'm definitely going to go rewatch Kakato's build for this. Because maybe it's something to do with solars. I hope there's no rule breaks there. That is like ridiculous timing. Maybe we're just bad.
I think we're just bad.
Yeah, that's the general assumption that I run with. I
Oh god, I don't even have my fusion started.
Bro, I'm still upgrading my first mechs. I just
You're
overflowed.
real far behind.
I just overflowed. No.
Yes, give me the juicy, delicious metal.
Don't do that. I don't have enough space to take it at the moment.
Fusion. Need a fusion, that's right. Don't forget the fusion.
Am I low on power? I have plenty.
Yeah, I feel like you shouldn't be low on power.
It's because I'm building build turrets.
Did you eat your power?
Nope, no, my power's
Huh.
still there.
Why was yours was excessively higher than mine before? Not so much now.
One minute left. I am so much further behind than I am most weeks. Well done for picking the lane against me if you have. Time to get some units out. Late, but better late than never.
1 minute to go.
I feel like someone's overflowing a lot of energy because I have way more conversion than I need.
Yeah, take what you can get.
Would not be
Yeah.
complaining.
Repeat on. I'm not feeling ready for this.
15 seconds, definitely a little low.
Lava level is dropping.
Okay, time to be hit.
Yeah, I am not feeling exceptionally confident at the moment. Yep, I am light on again. Wow, this is a lot of stuff. The T1 mass pushes.
Don't die, because then they're going to come straight over to me.
Yeah, I know, I'm trying.
Give me the metal,
Oh, you
yes.
went into a second fusion instead of defenses.
That was just in the background. I couldn't get the stuff building fast enough was my issue. Okay.
Oh, sorry, when I said give me the metal, I meant look at the metal donation.
Oh, I am. I think I'm dead.
T2 unit detected.
Don't be dead.
I don't have any energy production at the moment. I'm trying to get my build pad back up and running. I can't even D-gun. I'm gonna eat what I can and ship it across.
Oh my god, how much stuff do they have? How do you have this much stuff?
Yeah, they're getting better at this than they used to.
Oh. Oh.
No, don't eat my conversion.
What I did to be so fun.
Has died.
Keep it alive as long as possible, Tom. Just keep those LLTs coming.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm definitely not just eating as much as I possibly can while I'm still here.
They'll probably come my way first, I reckon.
Oh my god, they are producing so much. What the hell?
An allied commander has died.
Yeah. I think I got into unit production too late. Do either of you guys have something you want me to look after?
You don't have energy for what I've got.
Yeah, I've got nothing at the
I
moment.
mean, you
so you'll
can
have to
take
give me
care of
wind or
this.
things.
You can take care of that for now to maybe harass this. Defense, Tom. Defense. Thank you. One of my lanes is beat. Other one not so much. Actually, they're the perfect unit to attack ticks with. So, do that. Like, you can literally kill all of them with ticks, Tom.
Oh, you said to attack the ticks with, which I thought meant
Sorry.
they
Yeah.
will mess up. Not.
You've played bar before. You know the answer to it. Okay, where's these? Let's get these over here. Doing that.
We have to kill both of yours before we move out to attack that other
Yes.
side.
Oh no, if they've attacked me, I'm allowed to go that way.
Yep.
And they've come. That's their units. So
What the hell? How is there so much stuff?
I remember the days when they used to rock up with a few things.
Enemy commander destroyed.
Oh, damn it.
I'm completely
too close.
contained. Like, this is insane.
that's it, Tom. Do it.
I accidentally went in rather than just doing a flight command with the first ones. If we hit them from the front, then we'll be able to get it. Thank you.
Should be able to go like that, Tom. Nice.
I was just going to go around as a
And
safety
what I need to do
precaution.
is this.
Okay, we'll get in. Okay, that's going to be the base flat, I reckon.
Yay. All right. It's getting problems over here, Tom. You got those ticks.
Yeah.
I need to keep expanding.
Enemy commander destroyed.
Okay. We are one. Now we head south.
They are coming with Jags.
Yep. Jag's very good against ticks. I need to build something that you can use. Why don't you
throw
have
me a
this?
constructor, I can start building some bits and pieces now
Yeah.
that we've got some space to work with.
I just gave you a fat boy as well, which will do all right. How you going over there, Prey? Still in there? Oh, you got the hard lane,
I'm
Prey.
still in it, but I don't know how to push out. They are doing a very good job of containing me.
Gonna give me some more bits and I'll see if I can squeeze through.
Yeah. I just need to give you wind to be able to control this stuff. Alright, Tom. You get that. Is that enough? And I'll build you in metals and energy storage as well.
You chuck me some butlers, I can always start taking the mexes and
No, you
getting
just
some wind up.
you micro. I'll do the butlers. Okay. Don't lose it all, Tom. You have to like defend it at the same
I've
time.
got T2 vehicles punching through.
Yeah.
So I can't get out.
You're
At
gonna
all,
throw
no.
away that fat boy.
Commander destroyed.
I go that way.
Thank God for Kakado.
That was just so much T1 stuff.
Hmm.
You're finally getting
Yeah,
out. Hey?
mass T1 pushes are definitely real.
That
these
was
days.
insane.
Have you got anything with more range? I can.
Yeah, but I'm playing it too. I'll give you some of this. Thanks, Tom.
Because they can hit me before I can hit them. These all wrap.
Just gave you a bunch of builders that.
I have nowhere to make metal there.
Oh. Putting them. Artificial banana has got it going on. I think it's time for a bit of T3.
Oh,
Do you want to give me those ticks and I'll
Yeah.
punch them in?
Give me a minute.
that was a lot of pressure to start the night. Oh my god.
Too late.
Enemy commander destroyed.
I don't know how you guys managed to have that much stuff, but that was impressive as hell. That was impressive as hell.
you have an actual builder tweak?
Yeah, I gave you a ton of butlers.
Yeah. I can build wind converters and mexes. Can't actually make anything with them.
You can take him wherever.
Oh wow, they're using defensive catalysts too. Oh no, those are Junos. Never mind.
They have been
I was
using
about to
those
say,
well. They've all been defensive,
defensive
all the
Junos
shots that
would
I've
be-
seen.
Defensive Junos would be rough. Artificial Banana's seen the rest of the map.
Tick power.
How's up against Cookie? Or Mather?
I
If we
mean,
drop the
you
bonus
say
much
that,
more
but
than
I
what it
barely
is,
held. Like, we're
and I got
talking tanks
completely
in my
overrun.
base.
Did not hear any of that. You both spoke completely at the same time.
The bonus, it's a player difference essentially.
Yeah.
Kokaido is better than us, is what it comes down to, and was able to utilize the bonus better than we were. I am alive by the skin of my teeth and the fact that the tanks that got into my base didn't shoot my build power. That's quite literally it. This is one that I will be watching the replay on because I want to see just how well just what the other guys did, because that was insane.
Kato had like T2 reclaimed as we were building ours. That was insanely. Oh, you're doing everything. Don't know what you're talking about.
How?
I've always kind of ignored those awards
Okay, the
charts.
damage dealt. That's how.
Oh yeah, did well.
Yeah, it looks like he put everything possible into that T2 lab. And it doesn't look like there's any reclaim shenanigans because you can actually see them as jumps on the chart. So that's crazy. So for anyone wanting to know how to build as a king, I'd recommend watching this replay. And to those that were facing off against me, I know I was the 3v1 king, but that was like...
Yeah. You look at that
was
medal.
more than I think I've ever seen at 10 minutes. Oh, like, sorry. The 10-minute push wasn't too crazy. That was normal. It was the fact that I couldn't push out with T2. That's what was absolutely insane.
That T2 lab reclaim on Kikado came out like 2.5 minutes before all of us. All of us reclaimed ours within like 30 seconds of each other, and then he's like 2.5 minutes before us.
I think it is small throne time, chronographer.
How many we got? Have we got a bigger lobby? Yes, we do.
We do have a bigger lobby.
The flow is here. All right, we got grumpiness in there. We'll do 46s just to delineate. Oh, actually, it'd probably be more. Started at 50. See how many people join. Ollie hasn't had a go. Mazza hasn't had a go. And people, if you want to be a king, as long as you've got some experience at King of the Hill or you've got a reasonably high OS. By reasonably high, I mean like above 10. Feel free to jump down there.
Seven up.
There we go. We got Jim Jace down there. Nice to see you in Kings.
He
Alright.
made boss instead of add bonus.
Potato, was he just a king? I think so.
Yeah, he's got the
But based
45.
on the
There's
plus
no one
45,
else
I would say so.
down there at the moment, so
We'll give it a few more seconds while we set this one up, post the rules, etc. 2 more kings. 1 more king. Artificial bananas up there. I'm actually thinking 50 is a bit high right now, given the number of players.
We may have to bump it down. Chrono was saying that this is the version that still has water. Oh, sorry, that doesn't have access to the outside of the map.
it's only the island sections of it.
Have we done that on purpose?
I do not know.
I think it's just because it's smaller still.
So you've posted it, Tom? You've selected it? Is that what you're saying?
No, Chrono done this.
Chrono loaded this one in.
The small throne one.
Yeah. All right. Cool. What are we at? 32 verse 7. Thinking a 45 bonus. Yeah, let's make the bigger one. Chrono, if you've got that command there. There aren't.
Even if no one ends up on the outside, it'll still...
Yeah, as long as everyone starts on a mix in the middle. And then if there's a couple overflows, go for it. There we go. I'm actually thinking even 45 is going to be too high. 33 players.
You can't drop it much lower than 45 and it be viable.
Yeah.
It will come down to how well the peasants co-op eco.
Yeah, I'll post
So
the
we
rules.
dropping these to 45s?
Yeah, they'll be 45s for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with the team that I see there. Grumpiness is very good at that middle position. And then we've got another 5.
As I had these bonuses, 45 feels about right. There's a bit of firepower in there.
I'm not liking that we don't have the likes of Emre or
There's going to be
Maladay
some
or Classic.
before we get going. Quite a few.
Got Darth Ravan, aka X Factor Live, spectating. Get in here, help us out. He does that as I say it. Nice.
That should be. I don't know, we've got 9s.
For those of you wondering what's happening, when you expand the lobbies and a lot of people join quickly and there's a lot of shuffling, you end up in a situation where the IDs sometimes double up and the game doesn't like you starting with the games doubled up, because if they are, then two people will have control of the same comm, which is not ideal for everyone, but it is what it is.
Yeah, Rat's made a good comment in the Beyond a Reason Twitch. The time change does stuff up a few people, get it slightly less in this first hour. waiting for the rest of the world to catch up to Australia.
I reckon just one more 5. I reckon I've got. Basing that, we should be good.
All right. Then let's see if we can't force ready everyone. Hey, J Frost, Newt. Good day to the Newts out there. We do appreciate it, and every time I see it, whether it's just in my friends list or on the night, I do appreciate the Pingus and the Newts. We're working on some things in the background. I see you there. I kill you for fun. I'm very glad I wasn't up against you guys, but my competition last match was quite rough all the same. Can we just post the rules in chat?
Just checking, we've
And
turned
then-
off the Corona. If you can in-game confirm we've turned off the units that need turning off. That's the
Yes, I
T2
saw the big
It
missile.
does
unit,
look like
so
we
that
have the
should be-
unit tweaks. M402 is the go. Let's give this one a start, I reckon. We're just going to quickly lock the lobby, and then we'll unlock it in just a moment when everyone's ready. Just got one person downloading. We'll just give them a few moments, but I think they've been downloading for a while.
We'll give it 20 seconds, and if it's not done, unfortunately, that'll be a spectate. Okay, let's kick it off.
Let's go.
I'm really
Alrighty.
concerned about this one with that team up
I
there.
will be fine. We'll be fine. Once we're loaded in, I'll head back to the lobby and unlock it for the next one. And things should start expanding from there.
It just helps with getting the lobbies actually starting. You don't have another person trickling in, another person
Yep.
trickling in, another
Mm.
person trickling in.
Given the number of players we here, I think the next game we're going to play will be that new hot stepper. So
I reckon we can handle a good hot stepper.
so we don't break any copyright rules, everyone just has to open another tab up on their PC and play Inikamosi, Here Comes the Hot Stepper, because we'd be playing it in our stream if we could. But straight away we'll get muted. 1994 track, that one, going back a long way. I was alive. I don't know how many people here would have been. Are we all in this one? Why don't we commie together?
I reckon we could do that.
We just need to
Where should we commie?
bully.
Well, all the
Just
commie
find a
corners
corner.
are somewhat taken. Why don't we join Team Newt?
Where's Team Note? Small down there. Sweet. All right. Where is? Have I got the right people? Oh, they're up there.
Oh, actually,
that
why don't we
corner.
take one wing each?
Oh,
We can coordinate attacks on all fronts.
let's make this one a strong one up here.
Let's do it.
Okay, so who are we giving to? I think Jay Frost is pretty good at it.
Every time we attempt to do it, we seem to get it almost but not quite right.
That's because you try to play the game, Tom.
Yeah, Tom's theory behind boosting is I'll just build a few units in between while we are boosting in case they attack. I have no idea who we're boosting.
Okay, so it's J Frost.
Jay Front's
Can't you
Jay
read
Frost. I mean.
squiggles?
I can't actually. Newt command. Okay.
Yep. Newt command.
Hmm.
Here's the nuke.
Did you not see
commander.
the
Who
arrow
keeps
there?
moving my comm? Where is it?
Where is your
You're in the
comm?
bottom right corner.
What has
Who's gonna
happened
lay
there?
down there?
I don't know. Someone keeps moving my comm.
Alright, let's get this one force started.
That was funny. That's good. That's good.
There's the rules, don't break them, people. We don't usually get too many rule breaks in this one. The one that we mostly see is the commanders going up and building LLTs on the edge of the cliffs, harassing the kings.
Battle started.
It's a big no-no. Ah, that's what's happened. You are a co-op com with Smokey 404 Prey.
Oh,
So
that makes
Smokey's
sense.
got to not click for a bit.
You've received new units.
Who's giving me stuff? Because it's J Frost we're feeding. I can't find. I'll
Now,
just
where's
press share.
J Frost on the list? And let's make sure that we.
You've received new units.
J Frost, I accidentally just gave you my commander.
Started.
You've received new units.
Oh, somebody accidentally degunning their own stuff. I'm actually struggling to find J Frost on the list.
Look for the newt in front
look
of
for
it.
Newt. There's 2 Newts in a row near the top.
Yeah.
T2 Lab's on its way down. Everybody help.
Wildly fast.
Why are the mexes not with J Frost? This one here.
It's a 2-minute T2.
Just. Get another one out, J Frost, and we can send it around.
You only have to tap these maxes and we'll
An allied
keep 'em
commander
building.
Self-destructed.
Move it on again.
And that we can probably go straight for the Geo.
Build it. If
Yeah.
we build it, they will come.
Someone build him. I'm going to build him metal storages so that he can reclaim the lab.
An allied commander self-destructed.
Where are you building that,
Yeah,
Twig?
down
Oh, yep,
if you
I
want.
see it. I'm coming.
Getting up some conversion just to eat any of the overflows.
Commander destroyed.
Yep, and you already given it? Nice. Everyone to the... Move the build power. Move the build power. So for those of you that are wondering, this is the sort of thing that a commie eco is this is a commie eco doing it somewhat right. Just enough energy for basically one player. Use the build powers of the comms to get as much of this down as we possibly can, and accelerate one player as far as you possibly can in that first 10 minutes, potentially even getting T3.
The other thing we can probably build for him is conversion.
Yes, that's what I've already started. Because my commander's
Yep.
got no metal, I just go just into conversion so he can have it once that comes up.
See, I reclaimed J Frost's solar.
You didn't need that anymore. It's fine.
If anyone's got metal, send to I Kill You for fun, because he needs a little bit to fund the fusion. But it's coming down nicely. The build power's coming down nicely. It's online. The fusion's online. Every little bit of conversion's going to help.
I just need to make sure that I keep enough that I can still make my 1 metal per converter.
Yeah.
I realized at one point there that I was very low.
An allied commander self-destructed.
And then we're just going to rely on Team Newt to give us units, and we'll micro them. We'll just micro whatever we're given. And when that happens, Smokey, whatever I get, we'll just split.
I reckon we go hard into getting the eco up, but we probably need to consider building the defenses at some stage.
So
That we're not
hopefully
relying
we
on.
don't need defenses because we'll have units. Because we're 5 minutes in and double fusion. We should definitely be considering APHIS though.
Yeah.
Where's the conversion? That's the big question.
J
We have
Frost.
a huge amount of excess energy.
I think everyone goes on to conversion for a bit,
Commander
and we probably build a
self-destructed.
T2 converter.
What are you doing, J Frost? Build a T2 conversion. You need it. Yeah, maybe he doesn't. Oh no, yeah, his
does.
slider is all the way down there.
He definitely does. He's at plus 3,500 energy.
An allied commander
Converters make metal.
I gave to the wrong person for 2.
Yeah, that's a good point. We should send a.
Let's have a look around the map. Got
T2.
APHIS coming down for Potato. Fusion for small. Fusions are coming down on the right side. APHIS fusion coming down on the top right. So we're definitely the furthest ahead right now.
Way too much energy overflowing there. Oh, just
It's actually
nah. The
it's
sliders.
balancing out.
It's balancing. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
It's balancing now, so we're in the right ballpark.
Takes a lot
And
more
now it
build
is
power.
build power and APHIS time, I reckon. And then once we've got the first APHIS, we're going to need some units. Because we cannot build enough to make a meaningful defense.
I mean, commanders are pretty meaningful defense with that energy storage.
Yeah, but against like massive amounts of stuff, not
They
so
won't stop
much.
mass T1 pushes.
I reckon we probably should
Right.
get some.
If we
if
hold
we do
this, we're in a
APHIS,
really good position.
yeah. Do we go APHIS
I'd
or
say
2
APHIS
minutes
rather
left?
than more build power, because we've got the comms to be able to. Because you won't get APHIS up at this point.
I think we're overcommitting to the build power here.
Storage.
We get the commander to the front line. And remember as well, we got to defend all of this, not just the ramp.
Yep.
I think we need some units rather than that APHIS. It's going to take too long.
Yeah, we need units to hold at 10 minutes.
If we fall, we fall. It is what it is. I can build LLTs. How are you going, chat?
reckon a bunch of walls might help.
Yeah, walls would probably be good. I just don't have any metal.
Yeah. Where did that
I
go?
can't even build my radar.
I like the idea of having a radar.
APHIS is online.
Lava level is dropping.
Oh man, that T2 lab's not using the last build power.
T2 unit detected.
Okay, we ain't getting through there. But we can help over here.
You've received new
Twig, you have units now.
Nice. The problem is, ticks aren't going to get in.
Ticks definitely aren't going to get in. I've checked the entrances, but we can use them to mount a decent defense.
Yeah. Jay Frost, if you're listening, you need way more build power for when you turn that lab off.
He's not overflowing, so it's at least.
No, but he's got storage and that metal's 3/4 full. It should be getting spent.
Oh, they've got mammoths. Mammoths are going to nullify all the ticks.
Yep. I'm just yelling out too many orders to J Frost. Sorry, mate.
You are
Bad luck, that's just
you're
me.
doing the twig thing.
Hello, they have made it up.
Ooh.
Oh my god, they've actually made it up. Nice.
Unfortunately, they've gone in one at a time and they're just feeding. J
Yeah, if
Frost,
we
give
group
them off
them
to
up
Tom.
like here, based on what we've seen.
There you go, Tom. You've got them. Just wait until you got all 10 of those there. See my lines, Tom?
Yeah, that's what I was planning on doing.
J Frost, can I give you metal now? Yes, I can. There we go.
You've received new units.
The fact that we've contained the kings means that it's probably going to be rather rough for them to make it on out.
I reckon there, Tom. You want to stay out of this one's range.
Oh, yeah.
The good thing is the kings do not
I've
have...
got the defenses.
Yeah.
Tom, maybe the ones at the back, you can give me some of those. You've got the ones at the front.
I don't know what your name is. Just give me a sec for these.
Yeah, that's right. You do your micro. We should just be attacking at the same time. They're all on the other side.
Destroyed.
Same spot again, Tom, but then the ones at the back.
Part of it was I
Yeah,
just
they're
didn't know
going
where your
to-
name was.
Yeah, that's
That was
right.
all.
They're going to start breaking out pretty soon, I reckon. We've got more units coming. J Frost, you are behind on conversion, but I see that you're fixing that, so all good there.
Tom? Oh, J Frost, if you can give those to Tom. And then we can actually go together.
Oh god, that's a vanguard already coming out of the bottom of the map. That's terrifying.
I gotta go. Unfortunately, those other spiders are... Oh, you got them. Go straight up where you are, Tom.
B through here is the weak point, I think.
Straight through the guts.
You can't get through your own wreckages is the other thing to be aware of.
Yeah, just like that. Alright, you keep down that way a bit. There's the build power.
It is open, so we can just start throwing things up there now.
Oh yes.
Keep
We've
those
got the good
spiders
stuff
coming.
now, boys.
Keep the spiders coming. Oh, we're stuck. Damn. We're so close to doing proper damage. So close. J Frost, you're just feeding them up here. Maybe set your build point back there so that they can't hit it with the defenses.
So, but
Oh, they're Shivas. We need to get the hell out of here.
however, I prefer the Shivas being defensive rather than offensive. Yes.
If you get the chance, a couple of pinpointers would be absolutely amazing because they're one of the biggest things I'm running into with these snipers is just that they have spam.
Omni Commander's a bit of a risk.
I was hoping to try and get those spam labs there.
Right, these Shivas are all dead now.
It's brutal having the D guns come up over the edge. It makes it really rough to defend anything up there.
Mm.
Yep, that will do nicely.
Right, now
Oh
we can
dear,
do some
yeah, with those
damage.
Shivas there, you're in trouble.
Yeah, watch out, Tom. You will die
There's the
pretty quick.
spam that I need.
Shiva's just do a decent job of covering the line of where I'm trying to cut these off.
He's got his bubbles up now. We're just a bit late with these. Oh, we did chain
Pop's
react.
good.
It looks like one of the kings has been. Oh, that was a big shot. Conversion taken out. Looks like we're successfully sieging the kings at the moment.
I thought they had us for a sec there. Well, still might.
What's going on?
Have we got some rule breaks? Thanks, J Frost. I've probably got enough to micro now. You can give them to Prey and Tom. Oh, we got a Juno coming in.
Who's done the
I can
Junoing?
see the Juno up there, and it's come from this direction.
Wait,
So
what?
it would be
Is that a... Oh, yeah, it's come from over here. Where is it?
so the Junos can be used anywhere outside of
Taxman is experienced enough at
basically
this
that
game to
line
know
there.
not to.
Taxman.
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 That's yeah. He
The
knows
others
the
not
rules.
so
think they
good,
might have a
Taxman.
chance.
I think delete the whole base. That's a big
That's
no-no.
not good, Taxman. Hold on, I'll be back. I'm just gonna drag Taxman in for a second. Oh no, they're gone. Never mind. Oh no, they have
catapults.
catapults coming.
Yikes! Lucky we have some OP stuff coming out of Darth Revan. Argonath. Oh, those catapults hurt so much.
Those catapults are gonna be a
Tom,
problem.
you got some vanguards now as well.
Yep, I'm trying to.
I'm just going to keep my commander back here to defend against any potential run-throughs.
Not making their way through.
Nice base, J Frost. Very nice.
Oof. We're taking fire from those catapults.
If we get enough vanguard shots into them, they still do damage to them.
Yeah, but they can hit us is the problem.
If we go... Oh, there you go. One dead.
If you landed your shots right at the edge rather than inside, they probably won't
There's
bounce as far.
Good. Yeah, that's a good idea, Tom, actually. Splash damage.
Yeah, rather than hitting the shields, if we just try and
You know, what?
just on that edge.
These areas are really well defended. Why don't we try and ping the entrance that has all the ticks coming out of it?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, that would be super appreciated. See right there. I need you to kill that.
Yeah, okay, we got this. We're coming.
Because I have not been able to move
Oh,
forward.
pray
in a
if
very
you
long
have a
time.
Titan.
I do have a
Hang
Titan.
on.
That
Thank
is
you
quite nice.
very much, Jeffers. I'm going to now put my commander to attach itself to the T3 lab. And there's a small amount of metal that I'm earning from it.
So as soon as you guys can take out that stuff there, then I will send the Titan.
Tom, you are way too close with those. You need to like go up and around, otherwise you'll just lose them.
You got their radar, but I reckon they have a redundant radar. Sorry.
Damn, the shield just came up. I think if we all shoot at it though, we should punch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. It's through. Let's go for that one at the entrance now.
Nice. That was big.
I don't think I have the power to run a Titan. Right. What do we want to hit in here? There's probably build power there.
If we just focus fire one thing at a time.
Yeah, right in the middle. Well, we pretty much want to take out the shield, so the shield center will be about there. Oh, we don't... Did our spam stop?
The spam is coming, but slowly.
Those catapults can hit us. So I've
Yeah.
lost my...
You
why
can
don't we just go
outrange
through there?
catapults.
That looks like a good
Yeah.
option.
It is an option.
Looks like a better option than punching the defended areas.
We have to keep we do have to keep applying pressure to the defended areas. Because they will punch out of here if we don't. By the way, you have a Titan, Tom.
Do I? Where is he? Sure. I do. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah, Tom, since you don't have Vanguards, I'm going to give you Titans.
What's that?
Oh no, the Ticks are getting through and doing a lot of damage.
Wouldn't be getting thrown.
Whose spam is that at the background there? We need way more spam in this. The spam is actually beating us.
We'll try and get some stuff.
I've lost all my vanguards apart from 2 to Ticks.
Yeah, the spam is a problem.
Oh, let me place it there. Let me just start,
All the kings are making a push to the lane below us. Are
Okay.
those walls or pop-ups? They're actually not getting in. That's snipers. Yep. There's snipers there and there. Oh, sorry. There's one. They are mass producing these at the moment, I think.
oh, they are.
Randomly firing. There is a distinct lack of peasants pushing in just yet.
Yeah, there's some targets coming down this side.
What we need is a Cortex commander to... Do we have any Cortex here? But Marta's just not got it right now.
There's a lot of pulse ups up there now too.
They're not able to push out though, which is a big bonus. But yes, we're gonna have to mass units to get out of here, or mass vanguards to punch through something. But when pink comes online in a big way, which they are on the other side of the map with vanguards, it's going to be a problem.
I don't like it how we're gonna get in.
Oh, big volley coming in. Big volley coming in. Tom, you need more LLTs.
I keep trying to get them, but they keep on shelling them from the high ground. Because I've been trying to get a line up to help counter this.
Yep. Twig, I've noticed that you and I keep firing on the same targets.
Man, we're not getting out. There's just too much spam.
We're not getting it. Without counter spam, we just cannot.
Yeah, it seems like our base has
I'm-
gone a bit stagnant now.
Yeah,
Gonna start trying to get enough up to
like
be able
the
to
Titans are
support a
good,
spam
but
push.
we can't. Actually, try pushing the Titans in somewhere else, maybe.
Do we need them to hold here at all, or
I mean,
be fine?
we got to risk something.
True. Just need to get them around.
We're about to lose a Vanguard over on the right to spam.
Oh, that's my Vanguard, isn't it?
It's starting
They're
to
getting out.
slowly get out.
They're getting out further and further.
Yeah.
Commander destroyed. Juggernaut detected.
Cara Jane, if you're listening in, build a Cortex bot lab so we can get some Cortex happening.
We need massive something. We either need enough Titans to punch through with enough spam to keep them safe, or we need enough Vanguards to shoot our way
problem
through
is-
the shields.
We're building T3 at the same time as Eco.
Yeah. I mean, we're barely building eco at the moment.
The APHIS has been building
Yeah.
for like a while in the back. If we just do like, I reckon 3 or 4 more APHIS and then go into Cortex T3 for that extra punch. I reckon there's some stuff up here on this hill.
The reality is though, holding is actually good for the peasants. Like if everything is contained, that's actually good for the
Yeah.
peasants.
Backline can come in then, hey?
Because the dry seas should be coming
Titans
online
can
pretty
punch through
damn
shields
soon.
with their little thing that goes at the top. That's a whole bunch of build power gone. Here.
Nice.
I did not realize they'd be able to get that through.
It's brilliant about just attacking the base of the shield, Tom. I never thought about doing that. That's just taking out all
Well-
the sharpshooters.
It was more that it was just that I was walking them past more than anything else.
Yeah, that's heaps more damage that way.
Oh, the missiles from the Titans.
Yes, they shoot through.
Nice.
There we go, Cortex T3.
Oh, those catapults. Oh, feed me the catapults.
I think they're on that wing where you can get through.
Yep.
Nice boys. Well done, Nuke Clan.
Yes. This is gonna be a good hit.
I love that when stuff's
It's gonna be a
damaged,
good hit.
it starts smoking, so you can actually target it without seeing it. Trying to put pressure
Yeah,
on
if
the
you've got a reasonable idea, then you've got a good chance of hitting them.
There we go. I'm killing something up there.
Nice.
Alright, catapults are there. Let's see what we can volley up and over. So we've now got a good amount of spam coming through. Ah,
Is that
I
big?
love it.
This is big. This is big.
Oh yes, we're getting the shots up. Yes.
The shots are going over the walls. Yes,
Yes.
I got the conversion.
That
Was it
means that
yours
we
or was
should
it
be able to
mine?
get spiders up there now, I reckon.
Coming up a little bit further to here, Prey, you'll be able to get a bit more distance on it.
I've got some good shots going in deep at the moment.
Those
Oh,
things
you've
are
actually
land.
you found a shot that I'm having to go over the cliff. You've actually found a spot that gets over, hey?
Yeah, I have. But I think that's about as much as that particular spot's gonna do.
I'm just looking. Surely there's a fusion or something in here. Actually, you know what? It's back there. You can see the.
Yep.
This just stops some of their conversion over here. Now we just need to take out the shields
I
and we
would
can
be
bring the
tempted
vanguards
to
back
do
around.
a Spidey push.
Oh, good idea.
I think a spider push could be pretty gross, particularly if it's Kargis.
Because we'll be able to punch through here. Or something to that effect. Because there's not much left.
Good work with those Titans. I didn't even
Yeah.
think of the Titan missiles.
Smart stuff.
That should be some spam that's slowed up now too, because those labs are dead.
What we need to do, who's got a commander nearby? We need to build those. Tom, can you go and build some invisible cameras on the cliff here? They actually kind of see through it.
Yeah, I can do that.
Jug coming down.
Back up. We can vanguard that quite easily.
Oh man, they've got so many pulsars on the high ground.
Mm-hmm. That they do.
Coming for us. That's multiple jugs. That is multiple jugs. Keep your Titans back, Tom, so that they don't take too much damage from the explosion. First one.
We needed was the right weapon for the job. Thank goodness there are weapons that penetrate shields.
Yeah, this game would go forever.
Can't build it in front of that. Good to know.
So much spam. Bring the Titans back, Tom. We have more jug.
I should probably take him back and try and repair him somewhere. That'll take forever, won't it?
You need to fight the jug, Tom.
Yeah, it's on attack.
They've stopped walking,
That's
Tom.
not attack command does not work on Titans because they missile things. I got so deep.
Do we
So
have
deep.
response? Can we have Titans?
It looks like no. Why are you going that way? Do not do. Retreat.
Edith, you got a bunch of these here. Use these.
I do not, they're not mine.
They are yours.
Oh, they are mine? I keep trying to select them and they didn't do anything.
kill that. What's it called? Bulwark. Oh yeah. I'll just don't walk into the base of the bulwark where the vanguards are shooting. There we go, it's dead.
With the pressure on.
Oh, that is massive. This is where we want to get. I'm going for a walk with my one catapult. Actually, I don't think we need to. I think Prey is about to kill a...
No, they've got their arty and the other ones of mine are stuck.
No, you oh, I'll kill you for ones. Fun's got the other ones. You got it anyway. That one there is about to go pop.
We are in. Bottom side has just opened up massively.
Got it.
Nicely done, Moot Clan. Now we go for Grumpiness's massive eco in the middle. That was massive. That was like an hour real time.
That was some hard fought goodness.
Get that build.
Oh no, I lost all my catapults, but I got a lot of damn. Yeah, there we go. That's the chain react. Nice. Oh. That was stonk.
That was the best feed out of that corner to the three of us.
That was good. That was very good. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, after this one, there will be much more commentary, and we will be out of, well, at least I will be out of the games. I reckon if we're going on to Special Hot Stepper, then at least one of us should be on the King's team, and at least one of us should be on the Peasants team.
I will happily go King.
But you guys will get a aerial view.
I managed to walk my com all the way into the middle, and then it died when the Aphises popped before it could do damage to him.
Nicely done.
I think we got the bonus pretty well right, and the fact that it went for 40 minutes.
Yes, I got an award, the traitor.
I think we got it close. I reckon it probably should have been plus 50s.
Because they never really had much of a chance to get out.
That I reckon that also did come down to some choices, but because like if any push at us at 10 minutes, we would have been dead. We did not have it at 10 minutes. Yeah. We did not have it at 10 minutes.
I just want to point out how much damage Dark Ravan did with just the one Aphis, the one Advanced Geo, and one Fusion. Had that many T3 continuously, because that's all you need to build T3.
Who's the peasant line that's so high?
The eco or the damage?
Yeah, we had multiple peasants above the kings for eco.
One of them was J Frost, and Kakado, I think, was another.
And that, like, honestly, that does make sense.
Highest.
We usually see a couple of the peasants out ecoing at least one of the kings. One of the defining things that lets the kings win is applying the brutal amount of money they have to pressure points. Oh wow, this is looking good. How many kings was it, Twig?
We are doing
11, I think it was.
Yeah, 11. And I would suggest anyone that's played king before, because this is a test, and it's tough. If you're one of the outside kings, you only get a few mexes, and your job is pretty much to just defend. Then there's 5 spots that have 4 mech starts. Those players need to build units after, say, 1 or 2 fusions, and then you got 1 central king. I think I might take that spot. That's pretty much just gets to eco real hard. Now, we did this with 50s, didn't we? 50 bonus.
Okay.
I'm tempted to jump out and cast with you, Prey, just so that we can see both sides of what's
We
going on.
need to have someone in both sides.
Okay.
We need to have someone in both sides. There's absolutely no question about that. How do I make that thicker? There it is.
All right. If anyone else wants to jump down into kings, go for it. We will rotate people out, but if people don't jump in the next couple of minutes, we'll bring some of the ones that have just been king back in.
Yep, and I'm just drawing a pretty map for everyone so that everyone knows where their spots are.
I haven't done a rule list for special hot stepper. Is it pretty much the
Probably should
same?
have done that.
Is it pretty much the same rules? Do we turn off the ambassador, arbiter, and all that? Keep that off?
Yes.
Bruno, if you're able to, can we have that tweak unit with no T2 missiles?
So, for those of you that want to see this, I'm going to pop it in the general chat of AllReasonNoLogic. I'm also going to pop it on stream in just a moment. Those are the positions for the kings. Let's see if I can't make a scene real quick. Plus video feed.
I love the artwork, Prey.
Display capture.
It looks like a pizza. It's got me hungry.
Okay.
Just making sure before you do all those 45s, Tom, that no one else wants to try, because we want to share the love. 50's going
Someone
to be
confirm
Wanderer.
for me, Twig or Tank Tom, can you confirm for me that this is showing up on stream? Because I cannot, because the monitor that I monitor streams is being used. Okay, so these are the positions for everyone who wants to know. You have the eco player in the green star in the middle. They have access to a ludicrous amount of stuff. You have five pushing players. They're the orange players. Those guys, their job is mostly to deal with units and the middle ramp. And then you have the 5 players around the edge. You guys are going to have the scarcest economy. You've only got the 3 mexes to get a hold of. You can technically take a geo if you want to, but it is a real toss-up as to whether it is worth it or not. You guys are mainly focused on defenses. Hopefully that helps a little bit. Again, if you want to have a look at my beautiful, beautiful artwork, then please feel free on the AllReasonNoLogic Discord. Back to the lobby stream.
Last chance for anyone that wants to jump down to the kings. Otherwise, it will be Mazza that gets the last spot. And we got one there.
This is going to be a very interesting one, and just do bear in mind the balance could go either way on this one. We're dealing with a lot of reclaim that we don't usually deal with, and there's also more eco available than has ever been made available to kings before. So it is quite possible that we'll see multiple demons at 10 minutes. That is something that we've managed to achieve, and we're not on the sort of scale of some of the players in this match. We've also seen peasants push up with an incredible amount of stuff as well. Not to mention the map is very, very large, which means that even if a section falls, there is plenty of time to react.
All right.
It potentially could be a very easy Kings win. I err on the side of that being so, but we have to test this in some way. I just don't. I think that plus 50 is potentially too much when there's only 44 peasants. If we had 100 peasants, different story. I reckon that this would be quite balanced.
We did test this out on 2 games on our Wacky Wednesdays in quarter of the map, so it was like 13 versus 3.
They were 45s, weren't they?
They were. No, we did 50s. We did 50s to keep it consistent. And it would be good to have a couple more peasants. I think we're counted that there's like 50 something spots for the peasants.
Yeah. So we'll see how this one goes, and it may be. It is hard to tell because the reclaim can make a huge difference here.
Yeah, any spectators that are sitting in there, feel free to jump in as a peasant. It would be good just to round those numbers up a few more. All right, we're about ready to go. Just got to get a couple readied up. Pradith, you're actually in game.
I am. Sorry, spectate.
Maybe to give them a chance, we'll have someone like me go in the very middle eco position rather than like Platinum Dond or Darth Revan or Maladay, who will do it way better than me.
That's not a bad idea.
So
it's not a bad idea at all.
I'll keep it simple in the middle. Platinum Blonde saying someone call him here. Who's got his phone number? We just touched on 50 players. Get Baby Nuke to load in. That's some skill there at 44 OS. And for those listening to my stream, I'll just play the theme song for this.
Hit it!
Here come the hot stepper. I'm the lyrical gangster. Big up the crew in the area.
Underway, I think.
Looks like Amir's going to spectate, unfortunately. Oh, Emre, I've been told, not Amir. Us Aussies in our pronunciation. Or Hawkeye, wrong team, mate.
Yeah. I reckon we'll probably look at putting the lock on the lobby just for a sec to get everything.
It is possible as peasants with this map to get to T3 by the 10-minute mark as well. We did experience that in one of our test games.
Whilst I'd love to have Amir on my team, it looks like we're probably going to spec him so we can get going.
See then.
Oh, these are good.
Last couple to ready up.
This is where the make ready would have been.
Hang on, don't
nice.
go. Don't force start it. Someone's joined our team.
There we go. They're back off. All right. I'm feeling better with 60 people. I reckon this will balance out a little bit better than I'm worried about.
This last one's rated up, or spec will be good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 seconds, Ocus.
I'm gonna lock the lobby. People will still jump in and we just have to unlock it in a sec.
We're up to 60 players, so that's pretty much spot on what we're aiming for. 15
Let's go.
versus each.
Yeah.
There we go. Twig, are you planning on sabotaging the king? That's what chat's saying.
Yeah, by sabotage, just not being good at the game generally. That's how I'm sabotaging it. I will go middle because I do fear that some of these really high OS players will just do too good at the position and it'll just be a whitewash. By having me in there, I can make mistakes. Now I'm going to take all of this.
Just for those of you watching, if you're not familiar with Bar, it is free to play. There are no microtransactions or anything like that. Just head on over to the Beyond All Reason website and give it a download. Make an account and you're good to go. You'll start at 17 OS, and whether you win or lose in PvP will determine whether you go up or down. Twig, do you mind drawing out some lines for the kings?
Yeah.
Because we have a few players that are drawing their own lines.
I'll just draw.
Please choose your starting location.
Kind of like that for those positions, and then each of the edge kings, you want to defend those 3 lanes there.
There we go. Swap that one over.
It looks like I've got guys starting up here with me. Maybe I won't be able to do the T3 build I was hoping.
It did some practice and it doesn't seem to make much difference whether you start up there or not. Because I did a test run this afternoon.
Now what I'm
just 'cause of the
saying
travel
is,
time. Yeah, I'm looking at
I'm saying is that
your,
I won't get all those mixes that I have previously.
you could always ask for them to hand it back after they've moved out.
Yeah. I mean, what I could do is give 1 mix to each of the outer players.
We will find out. I don't think that that's particularly representative because I don't think a lot of players will do that.
I think we're going to see some variety of builds for this.
I also think we're going to see some terrifying things like small and potato co-op ecoing with plus 50%.
Hmm.
We also may find some new metas that we didn't think of before because we've tested this as thoroughly as we can, but until we throw it into the wild, this is going to be the first main test with enough players on it for us to actually know what's going on.
Can you tell us which
Sorry
king
for the
hasn't loaded in?
scribbles on screen. It is a little bit chaotic to do this. I've heard that there's something on GitHub where you can bring in drawings or something along those lines. I I saw someone use it in a Raptors game where they had their base layout all set up for everyone, all the player positions marked out at Drew for the whole team. I would be pretty interested in doing that if anyone if anyone knows about that and wants to reach out to me on the Discord, let me know and I'll see if I can't set something up for this one so that we have a little less chaos in the next than we currently do.
That's Pormont, is it? Pormont's not here.
What's gone? What's happened, Paul? Lobby. Paulmont, what is going on? Having trouble loading in?
I think we might just have to kick it off and yeah,
see
not sure.
what happens. Twig, you might just need to take control of Paulmont's comm and build the defenses in his lane.
Battle started.
There it is.
You've received new units.
I'll go and try and
Battle paused.
look after this one here. Maybe I'll give it to Maladay.
Someone from the middle started in the middle. Dark Star,
yep.
Unfortunately.
I don't know if he's going to be able to make it out from there.
He's definitely not going to be able to make it out from there.
That's all right.
Yes, unfortunately, when you notice the entire rest of the team spawning outside of the lava and you choose to spawn inside of it, there's a couple of context clues which might...
I didn't notice this one over here as well. They'll be fine. They just won't have a whole lot of it's space to build.
Yep.
This is kind of chaos. I don't know if the kings know what each role is here.
I think this is going to be a work it out as we go.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to clear off the red tape. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our first ever run of King of the Hill on Hot Stepper. There is a lot of confusion to be had. This map is quite different to what we normally see. But one of the things that will make this exciting is the sheer volume of metal around the map. We have 58 peasants, and if you look around the map, you can currently see just about every single one of them has a metal spot of their own. And if you zoom in, there are some very juicy things around the map. These volcanic vents are worth 80,000 energy as well as 1,000 metal. Some of these rocks over here are worth 800 metal, some of them worth potentially more. Crystals all over the place, and the kings have that as well. Also, just the pure number of geos. Every king gets a geo in this one, or almost every king. In fact, every king does get a geo in this one. But the problem is lots of space to defend and so much space that the peasants have in order to mount defenses. Even if a small section falls, it will take so long to walk from one side of the map that the peasants might stand a very, very good chance. Looking down around the outside, we also have some very juicy spots here. For example, we have this spot in the middle with almost 9 metal as well as a geo, and we also have the vents. We have a couple of the vents, the mini vents. These ones are only 150 and 10,000, but this is a lot to get a player going. There are also plenty of mexes all around the map. We're seeing 4 or more per player, which is unseen for a 50+ player team. Co-op eco is still going to be the absolute name of the game, and we can see the kings are trying to do that as well with these 2.9s, and if the kings have them with that plus 50%, with the 4+ per mex, getting these up into T2 early is going to make a big difference. And something different about this in Raptor Creator is the size of the walking distance. All the build power is in range of all of these mexes, which is very, very different to what we are used to. That means quick upgrades, lots of metal, and hopefully lots of carnage. But lots of entrances too. If the peasants push all of the entrances, that being 3 per side, 5 sides, 15 entrances, the kings are going to have a very hard time in protecting them all. The key to defense is these high ground positions, getting enough defenses on them to at least stem the tide that's coming through with units behind. Pushing out should also be quite a challenge because the peasants should be able to co-op into some extreme ecos. Around the map you can see just in this small section here, 3,500 metal, and if you combine all of these rocks there, it is in fact an APHIS if you include your T2 lab. So it is not a crazy idea to be going with the resbots, and resbots are what we're seeing all around the map. Everywhere, everyone is going for those bits and pieces of metal. As long as they work together, it will be just fine. Something else to note, look at the bars down the side of the screen. Energy is full. There is going to be so much overflow from these volcanic vents and the players that are grabbing them, as well as all these geos around the map, that early energy is not going to be much of a problem, allowing players that even who are co-oping in to get some conversion of their own and make plays exactly as they need to. Looking down at the bottom left, Ollie and Tank Tom looking to potentially be doing some co-op, but they are both going with those T1 labs in order to get that super valuable metal reclaim out. And I think the co-op meta for this map is going to change significantly because of the boost that getting all of these rocks is going to give. It might not be about getting the T2 lab out as fast as possible. It might be about getting those resbots out and claiming as much of the metal so that you can turn it into things. Looking into the middle of the map, Twig has got a prolific amount of metal going on, as well as quite a few of these geos, though a couple of them have been seeded to Artificial Banana. Twig is going to have the most eco that we've seen out of a king to date. Question is, can he turn it into something? If he doesn't have an APHIS by 10 minutes, I hope everybody in chat boos him on. Looking around the map,
struggle
we're
with
seeing...
those geos gone.
Oh no, whatever will we do? Twig only has 3 geos, what a horror. Milady going into the APHIS starting at 5 minutes. Plenty of metal and build power available here. The question is, will there be enough power? But it does look like there will be. Where is that power coming from is the question. I'm not seeing any source of power for Milady. There's a couple of wins. That's strange. Anyway, probably just some good overflow potentially. Looking around the map, we're seeing the foray of builders heading off to the outer areas, potentially grabbing some of these crystals, starting to get defenses up. With so much area to span, getting the defenses up earlier than we normally see is going to be a necessity. You cannot leave them to the last 2 minutes to build. Your build power is going to be far too spread out, and that is the weakness that the peasants need to exploit. If you look at the amount of metal on the map around the outside, I calculated it to be over 1,000. I calculated it to be over 1,000 incisors worth of metal, which you could throw at them at the 10-minute mark, and I would love to see 1,000 incisors thrown at the kings at the 10-minute mark. That'd be terrifying.
Oh yeah.
Not to mention, in the middle, there is plenty of metal for 5 of these players to get themselves up an APHIS, just off of the reclaim alone. Something to bear in mind, though, the reclaim is rather slow. If you look at the bottom left hand of the screen right now, you can see that ticking down. There are 8 of the resbots going after it, and it has only managed to grab probably about 100 metal every 30 seconds or so. So it's not the quickest source of metal, but it is a lot, and you can scale it based on your build power, based on your reclaim power. Butlers and build towers quite good as well. If you manage your builds so that they're in range of some of these rocks, you can use them to reclaim, and the build power can be functional even when you're out of metal just by grabbing some of it. looking around the map, the top of the map is pretty much all T2'd at the moment. The defenses are the build power is starting to come round on these high grounds. Milady's already got their APHIS up with 7 minutes 30 seconds to go. We do have the advanced constructors being built at the construction turrets being built at the moment. Milady is going to have a very good time of pushing out with those. And we're seeing a very heavy T1 push out of Darth Revan. One of the things that's going to be important is how much these defenses are here. Any open lanes could be exploited by the peasants. Speaking of the peasants, let's have a look around. Single fusion out by Lafar. Potentially a second one coming. This player does not look like they have overly co-op ecoed. I do think that they've shared labs with Baby Nuke, potentially a couple of others. But that is an impressive amount of eco to be going with such a small number of players to co-op. Looking at the bottom left, Tank Tom, 2 T2 labs, so definitely not co-oping with Ollie. Co-op is still going to be one of the key factors that lets you succeed in this map. Grumpiness, 2 fusions into an APHIS, T2 lab coming down, probably getting ready for those units. Reclaim starting to run out in the area. Top left-hand side, the Newt clan has managed to get themselves an APHIS. They're building up that, in fact, they're going for a second, building up that build power, quite an eco-strong focus. If you look at the income, peasants sitting at 2,000 to the king's 1,200, which is a very strong position, which is actually eerily similar in scale to what we see out of other maps. So potentially the crazy amount of reclaim is balancing itself out, and hopefully we'll see the peasants' eco exploding, and we'll see the king's eco exploding as well over the next 10 minutes or so. There are still plenty of gaps to exploit for the kings, but let's have a quick look. We do have a couple of longer range defenses coming down to try and protect these outer geo points. Unit defenses, I love this. Staggered walls with the beamers. This is going to allow for a lot of fire to power to land at any given position. Definitely like that one. Looking at a few of the other positions, mostly it is light on the defenses for 10 minutes. And we'll see whether the players are able to deal with it. I would love to see how Darth Revan's attack manages to go, though. It looks like there's going to be a big one at the 10-minute mark. The lava has dropped. Does take a couple more seconds than the 10, but we are off to the races. Units pushing down, units pushing up, and we will see exactly how that one goes. Very little in the way of T2 between all of these players. We'll find out whether that makes a difference. Having a quick zoom out. Couple of units being pulled off to try and defend this one. A couple others heading up to find the gaps. There are plenty of things to stop this one, but this is the big push. This is the Grunt, the Brute, and the Thugs heading straight out for Chilabidi, who does have a few welders to deal with this, and the comm is doing quite a good job of taking out those grunts. But good micro by Darth Revan, who's managed to mostly avoid the explosion damage, and he's now out and about with a lot of T1. These units are spreading out widely, so they will be taken out in the areas that are well defended, but they're going to break through and do a lot of damage before that is done. One of these corners is not somewhere that you want to see falling, because the corners are usually the most co-opable. Nice big push in here. This is going to be 504 basically being reset at this point, and it might even go all the way back to Robo Dragon. These gunslingers, though, are a really good choice for defense, and the pounders coming in clutch, coming up from, I do believe, Baby Nuke's pounders, helping defend this one in a big way, but there is plenty of firepower. Question is, what sort of reclaim war is going to take place here, and can they deal enough damage? T2 looks like it's being pushed out to support this push, is coming up to take the lanes that Darth Revan's attack did not succeed on. Platinum Blonde seeing the potential here and breaking out, not allowing these peasants to play in their corner. The rest of the map holding fairly steady. We do have a consistent attack coming at the bottom half from Unignore. Unignore is testing those locations. If there was T2 units here to back this one up, I reckon they would be in for a much better time. But the first T3 unit is making a stand, pushing down towards the peasants. Potato with that demon. Demons are ludicrously strong early in the game because the T1 units cannot stand it at all. Look at it just absolutely melting them. It is barely taking damage even though it's completely surrounded, and it is already up to 60 kills. I would say that it is pretty close to paying itself off already just in terms of that metal value. Thankfully, though, the peasants do have an option to get rid of it, and the question is, will it happen? And it does look like a really good D-gun right there. Also, those scorpions, pretty good for defense there. King's doing a really good job to hold this one, but the pressure has been quite light so far. It is the Kings doing a good job of pushing out comms out and about on the field. Demons pushing at defenses. Pounders doing their best to hold. The Pounder is a phenomenal unit for dealing with swarms. It even says it's an anti-swarm tank, and if you ever had to experience one of those, if you had to fight them whilst only having grunts or pawns, you know exactly how much of a bad time you have if you go for even a glancing engagement. Question is, how is the scaling going? And it does look like the scaling is still in favor of the peasants. 3k income to the 2,000 of the Kings, but but there is potential for this to swing around. That 50% bonus really does come into effect right now, and with one corner falling, that is going to allow for a lot of the pressure to push out to other players. This is the first time we've seen a T1 push be successful out of the Kings. That extra space, the extra metal, really making a very big difference, as well as the peasants just not expecting it. T1 seems to be quite strong, but it is now being held off somewhat by T2. However, pushing into these Sheldons almost certainly would break them. Lots of spam being fed to the Kings, lots of defenses being built. In fact, the Kings are just going uber defensive for the moment, but there are some cracks in the armor right now. We do have all of the players coming up here that have been co-oping with Grumpiness, managing to grab a fusion. Almost all of those defenses gone. Demons coming in to try and clean this one up. But if they can get some additional firepower in here to deal with the demon, there is great potential to break on through here. And once some of these lanes start breaking, the amount of damage that can be done inside the map is huge. There's a lot of space to spread out, and we'll see whether they manage it. Good defenses on the high ground. The Persecutors raining damage down, killing a lot of those snipers. Taking away the radar is a really big deal, as well as the cloaker. But it does look like this area will be cleaned up. There is plenty of T1 and now some T2 coming in. Big push at the bottom side, at the bottom right. A lot of T1 being cleaned up. Some demons coming to try to deal with, trying to push through. But the Sheldons out here taking a little bit of a toll and moving them away from the bases. Hopefully enough defenses to hold that. Oh my god. Milady has decided that the best way to hold their ramp is just to have constantly firing catapults. And I don't really think that I can argue with that. It'll do quite well. Demons managing to push quite deep in. Com potentially has a chance here to take some of them out. The question is going to be, will the Com take the opportunity while they have it? Unfortunately, just no micro just here. We do need to see the Com getting in for that second D-gun. If they do not, then these demons could run roughshot. Does look like that second D-gun is going to happen. Twig miss-microing those ones. Big pressure on the top right-hand side, but it is running into a Scorpion wall. 12 Scorpions, even though they are very inefficiently shooting against these, against all of the spam. It is preventing the units from breaking in, but here is something to change the course of the battle. We do have those banishes that will start being able to target these units. Unfortunately, they are struggling with the line of sight here, unable to get a good angle. This is something which we hadn't considered before. They're not on hold fire, they just aren't able to fire their rockets. Potentially an attack ground command could be the thing here. There we go, they've managed to grab an angle, and they're now going for those bulwarks. These units really should be able to do a lot more than they currently are, so that might just be a terrain issue. Looking around the map, the top of the map, which was a really strong push by Darth Revan, has been mostly cleaned up and pushed back. A combination of T2 and T1 units to make this happen. Down to the bottom of the map, more demons pushing out. These demons are going to do a lot of damage, but the right sort of defenses are being built to deal with them. The pulsars, the scorpions, any sort of pop-up, and we do have comms wandering around doing their best to try to take these ones out. Comms are some of the most important units when it comes to dealing with your T3 early on. Does look like we're going to grab that one over there, and these ones over here should be cleaned up by this myriad of pop-ups, as well as the beamers doing a lot of damage to it. Wow. And then there's a comm ready for it. Big question is, can it stay away from the fire? And it can. On the left side of the map, it is a very different push yet again, a slow push with the mammoths. Mammoths are something which are very, very hard to deal with early on. And, oh, we've just missed an eco going off over here to a couple of those mammoths. And we do need a similar response to what happened up in the top right-hand side. We need the players to come in here and help deal with this. There are plenty of them. Tank Tom's eco is coming up at the moment. Ollie's is up. We do see the catapults coming, but they do have a threat from above coming, which they need to pivot to if they're going to survive this one. That is so many mammoths and a lot of spam coming off of quite the economy. We're still at 1,000 metal ahead per second by the peasants, but at this stage that metal is very widely spread and the kings is very narrowly spread. And it does look like the big attacks are starting to come down. Milady's coming down with 27 catapults, doing everything they can to break through this line. Lots of spam, a combination of T1 and T2, but this is just so much damage being dealt by those catapults. Warp has one option to really deal with this, and that is manually firing their own catapults for maximum effect. Whilst those catapults will kill the orange catapults faster, the sheer volume of damage that can be laid down by them, if they target the right things, is going to make a difference. One of the things you have to consider with this is whether you turn on hold fire so that you can direct exactly where we're going. We do see trying to target the catapults that can be seen, but unfortunately a few of the shots did go awry just because they didn't have the right vision. They didn't have the correct they could see other units they wanted to target, so you have to make those sorts of decisions. Big push out just above that one as well. The mass amount of T1 coming out of Artificial Banana, deciding that if numbers is the name of the game, then numbers is what is going to happen. However, there will be a limit to just how much spam that can be kicked out. The kings will run each player does have a unit cap, and there will be a limit of how much they can have out there, which means that the spam strategies for the kings tend to peter out just based purely off of that. Jumping back over to the bottom left-hand side, piece of bread mounting a formidable defense against all these mammoths. The pulsars doing a great job of cleaning this one up, and then plenty of static defenses to tank those shots. Comms getting ready for the D-guns, and hopefully some metal reclaim going on as well. A lot of the mammoths just cruising along in front of MAPPP and Lingeron, but it is the Milady push that is the biggest threat to the peasants. This is something that's going to be ludicrously hard to deal with, especially with all of that spam and the T2 behind it. This is the sort of thing where you might want to hide a comm in the corner and just see what D-guns you can get off before it is destroyed. But that is one corner falling, so even though the top right hand corner is rebuilding and has held off the attack, the bottom right side is now the corner in trouble. Though the peasants are not they're not slacking off, they are heading up into the king's base, but it does look like a good response out of Platinum Blonde will hopefully start to clean this one up. But look at the res bots. The res bots are keeping this one demon nice and healthy. It is a res demon, and it is making its way in with the mammoth support at the front. with all of the res bots and the snipers behind, there is some pretty strong potential to actually break in unless the players work together to deal with it, and that is the mass spam pull to try and deal with that one demon. However, the demon's particularly good at killing spam in tight corridors, so this thing is already up to 140 kills, and it does not look like that number, it does not look like it's going to take that much damage while the number keeps ticking up. What a absolute hero demon, just holding the line. The Razorbacks are coming in to deal with it, but the snipers are here to manage that one as well. Just going to be a matter of target priority. Demon up to 250 kills. Its rank is just going up and up and up. Those flames are doing so much to hold this one little ramp. And I just want to see I want to see this demon win the game. That would be quite the dramatic change of events. Up to 300 kills, but the Razorbacks are here en masse. They're taking out the snipers, and they're going to start taking out the res bots soon. Pounders are here to try and support, and it does look like the demon is going to live behind the wall of pounders. Looking at the bottom of the map, Milady is just cleaning up. The peasants just don't have what they need to deal with this just yet, and they're going to have to sacrifice some ground in order to do it. The pressure is just too high at the moment from the kings, and a lot of the players are doing their best just to hold rather than actually do the damage themselves. The pushing lane, however, is the top left-hand side, getting up here with the catapults, with the Shivas, some T1 spam. This is lightly defended over here. The mammoths are struggling. We do have the high ground rattlesnakes, but hopefully we will see a lot of catapult shots heading up to them soon to take them out. We've already seen the first row taken out. This is going to be a potential win condition for the peasants, and they're going to have to keep building up and keep pushing in with the time they have left. Does it look like the hero demon may have finally been taken out? The Juggernaut, probably the thing which did it. However, that one hero demon almost certainly got over 400 kills, which is not something you see every day. Kings in a commanding position at the moment. They are still fractionally behind on eco, but they are able to push that eco into one spot each time, and the peasants just have not been able to counter it. A lot of unit value on the army value on the map is in favor of the kings by about 34%, just because they have been managing to keep all of their units alive. It does look like this is going to be a very rough one to stop. The big question is, how do you stop a push like this? Mammoths, starlights, and catapults.
Look on the top left, that's what's happening.
What is the go-to? And the reality is that if you want to stop this, you want to look at getting yourself something like EMP missiles or defending with your catalyst, something along those lines. They are perfectly valid. They're perfectly valid defenses. And as I did say, the top left-hand side was going to be one of the breaking points right here. We do have a comm with 4 Shiva kills marching on the invisible, but unfortunately, oh no, this is going to be huge for the kings. This is going to be absolutely massive. The comm bumping into... Where are the D-guns? Where are the D-guns? Oh no. Only one Shiva. The potential was huge there, but unfortunately a bit of mismicroing, and it did not happen. Massive collateral damage just there. The Shivas got their shots off. That's destroyed the build power and the conversion for Warlender. Warlender now only has the mammoths at his back and is going to have to try and find a way to get in there. Plenty of power, but not enough metal, not enough build power. There is good potential here, but with the forces turning onto this side, it's going to be a really hard push to make it through. I don't think that the peasants have quite enough at this stage to break up there. They need support from every single player in the top left-hand side. Needed to put all of their money into units about 2 or 3 minutes ago in order to make this one happen. But right now, with the Juggernauts coming to back up the defenses, I think it's going to turn into a big problem for the peasants. And they just do not currently have what they need to deal with Milady's push, which is sweeping around the map. Again, Catalysts are a perfectly valid defensive unit, and a catalyst absolutely wrecks catapults when they group up. You can also consider things like ghosts and other such stealthy units to get in there and EMP them, then overwhelm them with spam. In these numbers, it is hard to overwhelm with spam. In fact, there's so many. In fact, there are 55 pulsars, which means that even the spam is going to get pulsar down to, unless there is an absolute overwhelming amount. But your defenses, your vanguards, that's the sort of thing that's going to do the best to try to hold this one. You have to stop the bleeding there. Top left-hand side, the big attack has been pushed back, unfortunately, for the peasants. A second one is coming in. It is heading for the Aphis over here, but the Juggernauts, the Spam, and the Demons are going to make this one a very, very hard thing to push into. Very unfortunate for the peasants. They worked very hard for this one, but just too much eco out of the kings being put into the defense, and the army value is still... Oh, good. As I say that, the catapults managing to get those critical shots off. Again, though, the economy is about 1,000 different. The peasants still slightly ahead, but that army value is just creeping up and up and up for the kings. Kings nearly approaching 1 million metal worth, and it is this bottom. It is the bottom middle of the map that is the largest contingent of the king's forces. If the peasants are able to deal with this, then they're going to be in a decent spot. But as things stand, it is going to be a really rough fight. The spam is starting to make headway into the units. It is giving vision. The sheer number of vanguards is starting to get a lot of damage on, but the combination of the pulsars and the catapults is quite disgusting, and it's going to come down a lot to some target fire and good decision making. Ollie is here to try and help as well. Big concerted effort out of all these players, and the army is starting to go down, but this defense is only happening in the top half of this push. The bottom half, which will soon be isolated, is still managing to make its way in. MAPPP under massive threat, same too with Grumpiness, and if this corner falls, I think the peasants are going to be in big trouble. And every single one of the catapult shots that lands, every single one of the vanguard shots that lands is a big problem. Interesting how this cliff works. The vanguard's having a bit of a time walking up and down it. Does look like that top side has been completely defended at this point. On the right hand side, peasants are being pushed back by a similar sort of force. This time it is the catapults and the marauders. The marauders are going to get in and do a lot of damage here, and if there are a handful of Razorbacks which are going to be quite decent at dealing with them, but there are just too many Marauders. If they spread out, they should be able to push a lot of those ecos. I do love that the peasants are using a lot of the reclaim that's available, a lot of the resbots available to try and res those valuable T3 units and get them into the fight. That's exactly what they need to be doing. Real struggle here for the peasants. 1/4 of the map at this point has been eliminated for the peasants, and the eco gap has dropped to the lowest point that it has to date, only 500 apart right now, which means that the damage that the kings are doing is enough to be pushing those peasants back, and we did see some pretty large ecos going up. There is one more that is critical for the peasants. Grumpiness's eco right here is very, very vulnerable. But there is an entire wall of pulsars, there is an entire wall of catapults that are target firing ground to try to take out as much of these units as possible. It is going to be close though. If these units just continue to walk in and sack, they may well get the shots off they need. If the conversion or build power goes down, it's going to be all she wrote. But really good team play here with the players in the back trying to help cut off all of this. The vanguards building up large numbers, the spam giving vision. Hopefully this will be enough to defend it, and it does look like it is. Those pulsars now only having to deal with one more catapult, one more pulsar, three more starlights, and a handful of mammoths. The mammoths are still going to be somewhat tough to push down, but with the 13 pulsars, I reckon this is going to be a held push, which is exactly what we needed to see, and the vanguards are starting to deal damage back. the eco is now in favor of the Kings for the first time in the game. They have now pushed up that extra 500 over the King. Actually, it's pretty even when reclaim isn't taken into account, but we can see at the top of the map we just have so many APHIS. 42 for the Cortex APHIS, and are there any Armada APHIS lying around here? And another 18 for the Armada APHIS, so 58 APHIS economy for the Kings right now. But they are going to be running into unit cap problems. With so much invested into economy and so much invested into defense and walls and things along those lines, they will start to peter out. The peasants still have plenty of players left, but the units are starting to fall from these players. The Juggernauts are starting to push deeper. They're going to get good explosions on these Shivas. So much damage is going to be done. This is a real rough time for the peasants, but it is not lost, not by any means. If these vanguards can start popping ecos, if we can start seeing some more advances out of the Kings, you can actually see this entire right hand side of the map is barely producing units at this point because of the unit cap, whereas the flood coming from the middle is getting eliminated as it walks out. So we're just seeing a bit of a no man's land here. Still, if the peasants can get that reclaim, that's going to help them a lot. Don't forget to shift things off and transfer things into different ecos. So for example, if you have a lot of T1 energy converters and you're struggling with that unit pop, then change them over to T2. If you have a lot of T1 construction towers and you're struggling with unit pop, change them over to T2. Similarly, you can also use comms, decoy comms as an option. Looks like the vanguards have mostly been eliminated from the bottom left of the map. We still have Ollie's, but Ollie's catapults, but a lot of Grumpiness's vanguards have unfortunately not managed to survive the main assault. There is a lot of defenses up here for the Kings, and unfortunately, even with an economy of 6,500 for both sets of players, the fact is the Kings can bring that to bear in a more straightforward manner. It's not split between players. Micro will definitely help the peasants, but the Kings will be able to push against certain points just that little bit harder. And with an entire quarter of the map being cleared out, the potential for we need to see something change for the peasants if we don't want to see that continue. Another big push on the top of the map at the moment. We do have a couple of Juggernauts that are leading a force of catapults. Spam coming in to try to distract them, deal with them, get them to shoot themselves and allow the vanguards to get damage on, but it is going to take quite a lot of firepower to take out multiple Juggernauts. That being said, comms are a very strong unit. Impossible Dragonfly has been doing a phenomenal job of combining eco D-guns and units on this side of the map. One of the scariest positions to be in, isolated from his allies, but has managed to hold that one for an incredibly long time. Really, really strong play there. But the top side of the map, the Thors are pushing through now. With no spam, these pulsar shots are doing as much damage as they possibly can, but there is only so much they can do against this many, and we do have a early D-gun, unfortunately, only manages to take out the one Thor. One of the things you have to be very careful on with comms is sometimes you have to let the one in front go past so that you can grab the ones in the back. If three of those had been able to go down, this very well could be a saved base, but with one getting right up into the build power, nearly into the build power, but into the conversion, but these three really should manage to get there. There is only so much that you can do to stop them. They do seem to be attacking everything that they come across, though, so the move command is not letting them get right up into that eco just yet, but they are just about to be in range. In fact, is in range, does have vision, just needs to target that. If that goes up, build power goes up, that is going to be a big problem. Zauchi is trying to get in there, but the Thors are just that little bit faster, so unable to clear that one up, and that is the fusion and the conversion gone. And every little bit counts at the moment, because the economies are very, very close. It is in fact 1,000. It is in fact equal between the two players at the moment, give or take what reclaim is going on at the moment. Looking at this looking at the bottom left-hand side of the map, the wall of pulsars is doing an incredible job of holding against everything that Milady can throw at this. This is Mammoth City, Catapult City, and soon to be Vanguard City. Hopefully we'll see some shields out of Grumpiness, because those Vanguards could get that sneaky shot on to try and take out all the conversion and all of the APHIS. But we'll see exactly what happens. Got to be making smart choices with where the eco goes right now. On the top side, just an absolute stalemate. Looks like it might potentially be broken here, as we do have the Juggernauts coming from the bottom side of the, from the Peasants now, starting to make their way up. And instead of it being the Juggernauts getting down the ramp and getting explosions on defenses, it's going to be the Peasants Juggernauts getting up in. And the nice thing about a Juggernaut for the Peasants is you don't actually have to get it that deep into the base. If you can control it even close to some eco, you're going to have a very good time. You just have to make the decision of when and where to get that detonation, because all you need to do is grab the build power or the conversion for a player, and they're going to have a very, very rough time. And as you can see from the bars down the bottom, energy is not overflowing to the point where all players are full, and same with metal, which means that any amount that you get will do a good job. A little bit of an early detonation from Kokaido, but it does mean that there won't be a... Oh, it did get a little bit of conversion. I reckon if that had managed to get a few more steps over, that could have grabbed the build power here. But there are more coming, hopefully, as well as I think I saw we do have some demon... maybe we don't have behemoths. Behemoth. Oh, yep, there we go. There is the behemoth. Behemoth is going to be a big, tough target to stop. This is what comms are for. Having a look down on the bottom side of the map. Oh dear. The defensive wall out of Grumpiness is starting to fall. There has been enough shots by the catapults to start taking these out. The Mammoths providing an incredibly strong front line, allowing the catapults to get the shots off, but just not quite enough with the Vanguard support, and down to just the one catapult there. Kokaido is actually not full on metal, which means grabbing some of the reclaim might help. Vanguard's doing a great job of manual firing in. They're about to come up against those starlights. If you can grab a few of those, they will chain react, and it is a very satisfying thing. But it is Vanguard versus Vanguard now, and this is where shields are going to be quite key for these players. Does it look like the top of the map is starting to completely fall now? Those Thors have done what they needed to do, clearing out a few of these players and reducing the number of units that can be used for defending against the Juggernauts that are moving it down here, as well as the units. Platinum Blonde is slowly but surely taking out these players. Another Juggernaut heading into the base, this one very, very low after pushing up that ramp though. We do need to see a combination of factors if we're going to see a breakthrough in this one. Catapults coming up to provide that ranged firepower. Kings having to fight now only on half of the fronts, which is going to make a big difference for them. Economy is actually very, very even. This is turning into an incredible slogfest for both teams. We are seeing a Juggernaut detonation right here that's going to grab all of these Mammoths. If you do manage to get the detonation instead of losing the unit to just random fire, this is going to be, there we go, it does get the detonation. Way more damage, much bigger range. Kings have to continuously fight this one, but every single player that they manage to take out will allow them to put more force into these directions. They're doing a great job of holding the high ground. Does give them an advantage here, and that cannot be underestimated. Having a look down to the bottom of the map, the wall of pulsars still holds, the Vanguards still hold, and great target fire out of Grumpiness, doing a fantastic job here. somehow managing to micro absolutely everything and win the Vanguard fight too. Very nicely done. The spam certainly helping a lot as well. The Mammoth's doing a good job of clearing it out, but eventually those will fall. Milady is continuing on with their current push, but as things stand, the Kings are starting to... their metal reserves are starting to rise. They're having trouble spending it. And this is one of the areas where the unit cap will come into play. King's doing a great job of holding all of this one. Of pushing all this one, but the Peasants doing a phenomenal job of holding. Unfortunately, some of these last bastions don't look long for the world. If these Juggernauts can manage to get their way in, it will allow for Platinum Blonde to swing the firepower up. If the firepower starts heading along in this direction, it will be very hard to stop the Juggernauts, and that will open up the top left-hand side to a massive amount of damage. Thor's attempting to push in, but they are taking a lot more damage than they did on the other side of the map. The Thor is too slow and not quite tanky enough. If this was a rack of behemoths, I'd say that they might be able to get in, but with what is there to deal with it, I do not think so. Does look like some demons have found their way in at the middle left-hand side of the map, trying to find additional spots, but with the pulsar defenses here that were made from that mammoth attack earlier, these guys are not going to get quite as deep. The time for the demon is potentially over, but whenever they do get into range, they end up carving a huge amount of damage. This dude doing their absolute best to hold on, but unfortunately the comm is in range of that demon. It does look like it. Oh, very close indeed. You have managed to survive this dude. Keep building up those defenses, get back into the game best you can. Every single bit helps. The Peasants are pulling ahead on eco, and the army values are actually equal. This map is turning into an incredible slugfest. All of the... whichever team I reckon takes back the space that has been claimed, I think will be in a good spot. Did miss this one, but the Juggernauts did finally make it in, and they have taken out a nice chunk of the economy on this right-hand side. This small bastion holding out for as long as they possibly can. We do have reinforcements coming from Thule, but they have not arrived fast enough to save this base. There is still some hope there with a series of APHIS, but that Juggernaut, all it has to do is control D and walk straight into the shield, and it will manage to take out those APHIS. It is so well held by Baby Nuke and the other players around, but unfortunately this one is going to be a little bit too hard to keep from this point onwards. The Kings are going to start being able to focus around the rest of the map. The question is which Peasants are going to... the question is, will the Peasants be able to find a way to break in, or... that's nearly held. Thankfully, though, only build power destroyed for Lefar. Lefar needs to get that back up again in order to build a defensive force. If the Peasants can push out through this area, it will help to reduce some of the metal, because the Kings now control a huge amount of the map. Defenses holding nicely in this bottom left hand side. This match has turned into a bit of a stalemate. Question is, how are we going to break it? What is the sort of thing that breaks it? And I think the answer is the Peasants actually have good positioning right now to do something like build catapults to help deal with the... sorry, not build catapults. Build EMP missiles and catalysts a bit further forward in order to use those missiles to destroy some of the T3 units or EMP them. Cannot use them on buildings, but it is perfectly fine to use them on the units. And that is going to be something which will hopefully change the pace of the game. However, pressure is going to start mounting for the Kings, hopefully in another position. We do see a few of these players coming online. They're starting to send they are starting to send all of their units up. Unfortunately, though, not quite targeting the right spots just yet. these catapults need to start targeting these pulsars, because they're the true danger for the catapults. There we go. They have been ground fired, I do believe, up there, and as long as they stay within range of the cloaking as long as they stay in range of the shrouds, they should be okay. But they do not have their own mobile shrouds, which means they are quite vulnerable to those pulsars. Still, good amount of damage being done. This could be a nice place for them to break in. The economy is nice and close. All it would take is a couple of units to get up there to deal the damage, and that could take out a big chunk of the King's economy. All the peasants have to do is find one of these places to break the economy. If the Kings lose a ninth, about an 11th, if they lose 10% of their economy, it will make for a big potential change. Question is, what can the Kings do to try and break this one? I think the answer is to mass up something massive like behemoths and just really slow push down one of the lanes that isn't overly defended at this point. The main fighting areas are over here, and over here, which is not showing up because of just how many units there are. But they are the main fights. If they were to push a large number of units down here, every peasant that gets taken out is going to be huge. The economy, though, is in favor of the peasants once more, with about 1,000 metal lead. Army value in favor of the Kings, though. 1.7 million army value is sitting in the base at the moment. It is sitting inside that middle triangle and down that bottom wing. We will see exactly who manages to break this stalemate first, and you can see players trying to do different sorts of things. We do have Milady out the bottom here, building a large number of marauders, hoping that it is going to be the massive units that manages to break Grumpiness. There is still a lot of pulsars, but once they fire, that shot is done, and the pressure is still coming from that top side. If they have to divert, it will be a problem. There we go. Here comes the march of the marauders. They've picked a really good route without the sea here. There is a lot of potential terrain. However, Grumpiness will get warning of this. We do have the vision. We do have the vision potentially. Oh no, it's being pulled back. Let's have a look at the player view for Grumpiness. Can see these now. Does see the dots moving along. Does not know what they are. It's going to depend on whether or not paying attention. The vanguards have been ordered to move their way down, but we have not seen a full response yet. They should be seeing it now. The pulsar's starting to fire, but that's a really good positioning for... That's really good positioning. It needs to be the vanguards firing down there, and it does look like they're going to make it past the wall of pulsars. This could be the game-changing move right here. A unit that we normally discount as not being valuable enough in King of the Hill could be pushing through right now. Unfortunately, that pulsar wall is just so powerful, but it'll only take one or two of these units in order to get in, and there is the potential fabled one marauder. All he has to do is get shots on to that advanced energy converter, but unfortunately does not push up has not pushed up yet. There are a couple of marauders that have seen it and are starting to fire, and it does look like this attack is going to peter out without any damage done, unfortunately for the Kings, but that would be the right idea. And it doesn't look like the rest of the units up here were able to break through. However, they have managed to advance massively, and many of the vanguards have been taken out. The vanguard duel has swung back in favor of Milady, but that pulsar wall is still going to be very hard to push past. More defenses are needed, and we do see them coming up. The pit bulls being built in front to try and help deal with all of these. Still, this is, I reckon, a very potentially strong path for the Kings to push through. Looking at the top part of the map, more stalemating right now. The peasants are doing everything they can to push in. They're sending a big juggernaut push right now, but unfortunately the jugs are so close together that any of them exploding will deal a lot of damage to the others, and it does preclude them from self-detonating, because that will be even more damage again. But all these units have to do is get close. Unfortunately, they're going to run into one of Twig's behemoths, and that behemoth is going to deal bulk damage to them. Peasants really struggling to break up through these lines with just how many defenses are here. And there we go, juggernauts exploding one after another. And that is going to be a bit more of a stalemate. Behemoth versus behemoth on this ramp soon-ish. And it does look like a big threat is heading out the back, massing up these behemoths, cleaning up the players, and then we'll swing around. We do have a quick pause. Just wondering what the pause is for.
Pause means I might be able to finally catch up again.
I've been
I've been
In a
falling
game like
further
this
and
one,
further behind.
Everything has gone absolutely crazy with the just sheer number of units out there. Something which is quite interesting. We do have J Frost, who currently has 50 of the smugglers to try and keep his push hidden. Question is, will it be enough? Just a sheer this is an incredible stalemate, with each team essentially with a very equal income, very equal army, and very equal map space. The peasants are just struggling to break in any meaningful way at the moment. It's hard to recommend what they should do, but if I was in this situation, I would be attempting to get around any way that I could to try to find a new... Oh, what just happened over there? Okay, no, that wasn't an attack, so this player control-D'd their... Tank Tom control-D their wind in order to get more units out, because the wind does count towards unit pop. So no sneaky run-bys just there. We are seeing Grumpiness with a push-out of the Razorbacks, unfortunately finding Titans, unfortunately finding Titans and Behemoths, so unable to break their way out. This map is, I think, turning into one of the latest game King of the Hills, and one of the most even we've seen to date. The Kings were able to push out early on with their eco advantage, but everything has stabilized nicely, and all it will take is for something like Hokkaido's units to get that little bit further forward and hit some of this economy. If all of these advanced constructors chain react, this could be absolutely huge. The Kings are ever so slowly being pushed back. There is just too much of their army supply on the back half of the map, cleaning things up, and there is a massive potential here for damage to be done. They do not have to get any. They barely have to get any closer. I Kill You for Fun's catapults right on the cusp of being in range of that build power if they fire at max range. Question is, do they have the vision? And I don't think that they do. Yeah, they do. They can see the groups there. If they fire at max range, they will be able to deal some good damage. However, going to lose a bunch of them to these vanguards right now. Couple of stray shots landing on the T2s. Oh, there we go. That's the chain reaction. That's the chain reaction. Is it going to spread? It spreads across to all the build power. That is Platinum Blonde's economy. Absolutely ravaged. That's a huge shift for the peasants. One whole king's economy essentially taken out. and that is going to open the door for the T1 to get in, and it is streaming in. Defenses very light in the middle of the base. We normally see some, but there have not been any built. However, with this much build power, there is potential that a lot of it will be eaten, but they only have to get a couple of shots off. We need some fast T3 or fast T2 to get in here ASAP to try and deal the damage, find what you can, get the damage done that you can before this gets cleaned up. But any units that are pulled off from at this stage will help the other lines attack. This could be the breaking point for the peasants. However, looking down at the bottom of the map, a similar thing is happening right now for Grumpiness. EMP bots getting in all over the place. They've EMP'd the entirety of that pulsar line, and we do have a behemoth that is starting to trundle its way in. Without those pulsars online, the Titans, the Thors, and all of those Starlights are going to start getting in. So this could actually still be quite even, because the unbreakable defensive bastion is about to break. Really good use of those stealth units, and that is some of the first damage getting on. A lot of those pulsars have been destroyed. The Thors are in the back, and that is going to be Grumpiness taken out. The build power is gone, and these units are going to get in there for those APHIS. That means that this entire bottom side of the map has to pivot and build a similar level of defense if they want to survive. So what's going to happen? Are the peasants going to push in at the top first, or are the peasants going to break out the bottom? It is going to be easier for the kings to push around the bottom of the map, but it is going to be more effective when the peasants break into the king's area. Less distance to travel between economies, more damage can be done. For example, these juggernauts that are coming in along with the behemoth, huge potential here. Just a self-detonation near the middle of the map could make a ludicrous amount of difference. So this has turned into a bit of a race, ladies and gentlemen. A stalemate broken in two places at once. That is absolutely insane. High health jugs heading towards the middle of the map. They are so close to doing huge damage, but there are behemoths closing in on them as well. The behemoths will make short work of them. One of them needs a Happy Cloud. One of those needs a Desperate Self D. They're not moving. They're being pulled back. Oh god. No. That is the last thing you want to do. Never pull those back, ever. Oh no. Oh no, that actually could be the one of the breaking points of the game. Because the push on the bottom is now essentially uncontested. Tank Tom with a large eco, but unfortunately not a large amount of defenses. He needs hundreds of pulsars and shields to try and deal with what's coming for him. Good idea with the paralyzers, but they don't have the power to run. Someone should give Scavvy some power so that he can get those EMPs off. Does look like the top of the map, all those behemoths that were slowly making their way out have been cleaned up by Titans. This is still close, but with those juggernauts pulling back and not killing Twig, I reckon that the opportunity to take on the kings is closing quickly. The behemoths are going to be here soon to try and deal with it. There is still one coming though. Hopefully it will not get D-gun. These just have to keep moving forward. Unfortunately, Twig does have a higher health behemoth, which will almost certainly stop it. This behemoth just has to pretend it doesn't exist and go for something like the advanced geos. I'd love to modify the geos on this map so that their explosion radius includes each other, so that they can be used to chain react the whole middle player. That would be quite funny.
I think it's all over. By the time we get around.
It does look like the slow behemoth push on the left-hand side by Imaginary Fox has just managed to re-break one of the kings. The catapults are in the base now. There is still units here to clean this one up, but if these can get in and if they can target the spots that they really should target, which is the known quantities, there will always be an advanced geo in these spots. If they fire onto them, which they're in range of right now, this could be huge. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they are firing on those specifically. There we go. That is conversion taken out. A nice mixed fire of shots. That is part of Twig's economy taken out. A big part of Twig's economy taken out. It does look like the peasants may actually have this one after a disastrous start for them, losing half the map. The push is still ongoing in the bottom half of the map. Tank Tom, unfortunately I did not see you getting killed, but Tank Tom has been killed. This could... This is the peasants' opportunity to win right here, right now. They have to break through. They have to keep wiping the kings off of the map, because there is so much happening down the bottom that is coming up for them. It will... The comms are ludicrously important at this stage of the game. The kings are down to just 2, and I think it might come down to a bit of a comm hunt, because both sides have enough army to kill each other. But the peasants, for the first time in a long time, are ahead in the army values. They probably have been for a little while, but it's the first time I'm noticing it. 11,000 energy income, and the sheer overwhelming presence of the peasants is starting to push up. This has gone absolutely fantastically for a first try of this map. And the question is, which side is going to finish the other off first?
I don't think we've ever seen such a big amount of peasants killed and then them go and win.
The game's not over yet, though, because while the peasants have got a very strong push in, a lot of the economy isn't in the middle of the map anymore.
I am holding for maybe another 30 seconds. So 1 hour, 1 hour
What do you
real
mean,
time.
Twig?
30
Just
seconds
pick up
game
those
time.
APHIS. Just grab the Titans, pick up those APHIS, and start moving them
Yeah, drop
towards
them
the
over in the
enemies. So the
corner.
explosions kill them. That's how that works, right?
These things that look like in my map,
Oh my
like
god!
spam coming in,
There's a
that's
scuttle.
behemoths.
There's a scuttle. There's a scuttle in Twig's base. Oh my
got
god!
there.
I love this. It's looking. I can see where it's going. Is it gonna find what it wants? I know what it wants. It's going for that. It's so close. It's so close. No, it's been spotted. It's been spotted. It does manage to get Twig's T2 lab, but it was aiming for the for Artificial Bananas Geo. Unfortunately, though, I don't think the scuttles are going to be the big game changes. The artillery is on the APHIS in the middle. That is about to detonate, and there goes Twig's base, and that does take out some of the economy outside of it as well. Economy is falling for the Kings. We're down to 5,000 versus 12,000. But the King's push is not over. The peasants are down to almost a quarter of the map. This push just feels almost unstoppable, and there is still units going towards it. But behemoths are well and truly into the base for the Kings. However, a big force of behemoths and juggernauts is coming to try and seal this one off. I thought that as Enigoth Baddies is saying on screen right now, I thought the Kings were going to crush this one, but we waited for just enough peasants. That 60 balanced this out very nicely, and this is the sort of balance that we have talked about before on King of the Hills. It is expected that the Kings will kill players. That is expected, but the great play out of the peasants has managed to get them into the base. Oh, that was a big hit. That final Geo not reclaimed by Twig or Platinum Blonde manages to take out a large chunk of the conversion. The Kings have just dropped down under 5,000 metal income. And we do have the inevitable march of the behemoths continuing to try and make their way into the base. But again, at the bottom of the map, there is just so much pushing at the bottom of the map. These vanguards have been... This is an entire corner gone. One more player and the peasants will be down to 1/4 of the map left. The Kings are doing a great job of keeping that momentum up. There's just so many behemoths and titans heading to the top of the map. If the Kings could spread their units out faster, I think that they might be able to hold this, but the titans are being microed well. The behemoths are making their way across the map, and all they have to do is grab a couple more eco centers, and the King's economy will fall off of a cliff. We do see players trying to deal with this. Potato has started all over again in the area that they've killed. We do see Milady doing the same. So even though they're going to take the middle, the game isn't going to be quite over just yet. If that push can work its way the entire way around the map, the peasants will be destroyed again. Units like behemoths are not good for getting into position to defend. We need to see a player like Imaginary Fox build a defense just like what we saw, just like what we saw in the bottom of the map. Is doing it with the bulwarks, but somebody needs to give him a armada comm so that they can, so that we can get all of those pulsars, because it is going to be pulsars that are needed for this. The vanguards dealing bulk damage, and they do outrange the bulwarks, I do believe. Does have a range of 950 versus the range of 1450. Yep, so the bulwarks are not perfect for dealing with this one. And it does look like the Kings have managed to repel this current wave of attack. The behemoths still coming along, Twig getting one more out. Unfortunately, the lab is now being destroyed, so that is Twig essentially done and dusted.
I think I just saw Melody quit. Oh no.
Oh no. I think with the amount, I think that Melody has seen the way the wind is blowing. I don't begrudge anyone from staying in at this point, but once the inner circle has been destroyed, I reckon we would count that as a peasant win, because the resource bonus allows for almost infinite rebuilding, and the size of this map, it could turn almost into a clock face of one hand chasing the other. Units, does look like this attack is being held back by the bulwarks to the best of their ability, but there is still a lot of danger here. Thankfully, we do have a couple of these behemoths that have broken path and are starting to make their way down to the bottom of the map. To try and clean some of this up, the Kagi's doing a decent job of getting vision for them as well. Juggernaut out to try and defend. That could be dangerous, though. This push is starting to peter out, and we do see more units coming across to help, which is slowing down the destruction of the middle of the map, but you can see all of those Titans have made it in. The Resbot army is rebuilding the middle of the map for the peasants. The Eco still holding at 11,000 for the Kings. The peasants back up to 6,000 from their disastrous 4,900. But we do have a potentially big shot coming in just here. Artificial Banana, one of 3 comms left, is heading towards this behemoth to try to take it out. But there is so much economy, it does look like he's going to get it before that shot comes out. Oh, it does come out. One shot from behemoth does not kill a... It does not kill a Aphis, though. Artificial Banana with the 5 kill comm, almost certainly all those are T3 units. These Titans need to push in and take out that Aphis. They are being destroyed by the large number of behemoths, but if they just keep going, they'll be able to eliminate one of the largest remaining economies in the game. It'll only take a handful of shots, they just have to make it past those behemoths. But there we go, that is a big chunk of economy taken out right there. We'll just give the game a second to catch up onto the damage. That is 2,000. That's almost 2,000 of the economy taken out, and now we just have to start pushing down towards the bottom of the map. The behemoth wall is holding for now, but the mass units is starting to break their way in, and the large attack on the bottom of the map has been broken as well. Unfortunately for the Kings, that is their momentum broken, that is their economy broken yet again. And another chunk going down just here as well. Build power down. They are now running on fumes. The army value for the peasants is up to 3 million. The Kings have held steady at 1.4 for a long time. This is not going in the Kings' favor any longer. This has been an absolutely insane map. To answer your question, this is not how long an average game normally goes for. This is our first time on Hot Stepper. This is a much larger map than we've ever tried this on before. And the end, and normally we see these ones ending at around about the 30-minute mark, 40 minutes being quite a long one. And it does look like the cleanup is now inevitable. The bottom of the map is now pushing, the left side of the map is now pushing in the peasants' favor. Behemoth wall in front doing what behemoths do. We have mammoths cleaning up spam. There is one final push of vanguards coming to try and take what they can, but there are so many catapults and bulwarks to defend here that I think that this is going to be all she wrote for the Kings. The slow march going on from here as the behemoths do their best to make their way to the last three economies left on the high ground. The the Kings have managed to build economies on the low ground, but I think once the high ground is completely breached, I think that might be we might call that one as the end of the match. One behemoth trying for a heroic push to the last bastion, but it is taking fire from so many bulwarks. 25 bulwarks here to stop it, as well as the catapults. The behemoth still making it a decent way in, but it will fall before it can get too much done. It does manage to claim a T1 solar, which is quite the achievement considering what it's pushing into. Gonna grab a couple of nope, it is gone. We do have the last of the vanguards here getting slowly pushed down by Karganeths and behemoths of their own.
Destroyed.
And that is right now we've just seen the thugs take out one of the last economies of the Kings. Kings dropping to 3,000 metal income. Very nicely done out of the peasants for this one, keeping a cool head and doing everything they can to win. And their persistence has paid off, getting the right amount of eco, putting the right amount of pressure on. Very nicely done.
I've tried to call the resign vote, but it's just not happening. That's how laggy the game is.
Right. Do we have let's have a quick check in the lobby. Do we have a mod in chat? If so, and if you're happy to do it,
Don't do the stop, we'll just delete our comms.
Yeah, would appreciate the Kings look at detonating their comms soon. The peasants have overwhelmed the middle of the map, which is the objective. And whilst I do appreciate the tenacity of building outside of the map, the game is won by the peasants at this point.
Don't need a mod to finish it. We just need to control DR comms. I got one of them. Small's got one, and where is the third one? Potato. Small, Potato, myself. Control dang. Just Potato.
2 comms left, should be just a moment. There we go, that is the last 2 comms. Very well played out of the Kings for that super early aggression and the absolute destruction of 3/4 of the map. But unfortunately, just not quite enough with the peasants managing that one corner to put so much pressure on. They actually managed to break through. Very nicely done. That's the last comm there out of the Kings, who now look like peasants because they are on the outside of the map. We'll have a quick look at the stats, and then we're going to, and then that'll be the end for us tonight. We do see some of the economies blowing up in the back line for the peasants. Usually a bit of a tradition out of some of the players to start those detonations. Very nicely done. Let's have a quick look at those graphs before we finish that one up. damage dealt, we see the Kings absolutely dominating individually the damage dealt, except for one player. I do believe that one might just be Kokaido, doing a
Hit me at
huge
the
amount
end
with
for the
those.
damage dealt.
Oh, actually, yeah, we can have a look at that. Never mind. I could just look at the statistics. That would be smart. Damage dealt, we do have, 15 million by Kokaido. Quick look at those economies, because that's something that I do very much want to see. The metal produced, we had one one peasant that I think is responsible for a huge amount of that economy. Kokaido again, just absolutely keeping pace with the Kings. What a phenomenal amount of metal generation. But if you look at the bulk of the remaining peasants, they were right at the top of the pack, and their combination was greater than the area under the graphs for the Kings. Very nicely done, and very glad that the first map on Hot Stepper went so well.
A lot longer than we thought. I thought it was going to be like a 15, 20-minute game, to be honest, especially after our test runs. They went pretty quick. Probably I wasn't the best player to do the take commands for the players that didn't manage to join, because I found, although I got to support Maladay down south early on, almost no pressure was put to the top left, where, of course, that's where we saw the massive eco come out of Kokaido.
And on that note, that's probably going to be it for me, at least.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it a night as well.
Well, just because I've only done
But
3 games, I'll stick
Three.
around for starting a Raptor Crater. If you can just put in the codes, Tom, and then if you
I
want to raid
probably
across.
can't because my game still hasn't even finished yet.
Boy, I better find them then. Where are the Raptor Crater ones? Unless Chronographer's still there.
They should be in the map codes channel. Oh, here we go. I might be finishing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, while they sort that one out, we've been All Reason No Logic. I've been Pradith. Joining me has been Twig and Tank Tom. We do appreciate everyone who came in and played with us, especially since we were trialing a new map today. We also appreciate everyone in chat. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to follow it too much with the other two in game. I was mostly solo casting that one, and I do suffer from the same problem that I am sure a lot of other people do, and that multitasking is not their thing. Hope you enjoyed tonight's stream. If you do enjoy Bar and you don't play it already, jump onto their website and give it a download. It is free. If you did like what we brought to you tonight, then jump over to AllReasonNoLogic's YouTube or Twitch. Like, follow, all of that good stuff. I do believe that the mods will set up a raid to another channel.
Raid me for this one.
There you go. If you want to enjoy the last Raptor Crater, then we'll be raiding Twig on the All Reason No Logic channel, so stick around for that one.
I will have 9 kings in the middle for this one, and how many peasants we got? 37, so we're going to do a 45% bonus. Actually, we'll go 50.
Do you want to make it something other than exactly 50 so you can tell the difference from the last game?
Good point. We're going 51.
All right, and while I have the opportunity, just a quick look through there. There isn't really a hard limit on the number of players. The 50k event is huge. The Wall of Pulsars was very strong, but you saw how quickly it did fall once the players started using EMPs on it. There we go. It does look like we have raided 2 pumps.
Grumpiness has got I might raid him then as well, that I can go to bed. Works for me.
So everyone share the love with Two Pumps, but also please do jump over to the All Reason No Logic channel, Discord, or YouTube, and just leave a bit of love over there. We do very much so appreciate it. And I think that's going to be all from us. Yep, does look like the raid has happened.
Yeah, went to Two Pumps. Sad of me. Hurt my feelings. It's all good though.
All right, that's going to be it from me. Catch you all later.
Okay, and for the AllReasonNoLogic stream, I'll send you guys from Twitch over to Two Pumps as well then. Those on YouTube, thanks for sticking around. Jump over to Two Pumps on Twitch if you want to keep it. Thanks for sticking around. Jump over to Two Pumps on Twitch if you want to keep it. Thanks for sticking around.